Hey everybody, it's Nicole. For those of you who are returning uh Ohana members, thanks for coming back. And for those of you who are new, thanks for clicking on that button to view this video. I really appreciate it. And For those of you who are not subscribed, I appreciate it if you do hit that subscribe button and that you also hit the notification button when I do upload new videos, along with giving me a thumbs up and putting a comment down below. And so today's video is going to be a little different. I know there were a lot of you, or maybe not a lot of you, I don't know. I've seen several comments that were concerned about where I kind of disappeared to for a while, and were concerned. I saw a couple of people say that they were worried, and so I kind of wanted to give an update. So you can choose to watch this video or not. It might be a little bit longer because I tend to talk a little more than probably I should. If you're not interested, I completely understand that this kind of video might not be your cup of tea. So feel free to skip this video if you want to. I completely understand. There have been a lot of things other than the move that have happened, which has kind of disrupted a lot of things in life for me in particular, and has made it challenging, to say the least, to deal with the move. One is obviously trying to find new doctors. For those of you who don't know, I do have fibromyalgia. I have several mental health issues, bipolar 1, anxiety, panic attacks, OCD, CPTSD. I have been dealing a lot more with insomnia lately, and the thing with the whole CPTSD, some of you may not deal with it, who have this particular mental health problem. But some of you may. Obviously everybody is different, but I deal with nightmares and night terrors. So sometimes it's really hard for me to want to go to sleep, even though I am tired. And also what doesn't help is having bipolar 1, especially if I'm in a manic state. I don't tend to sleep enough or well. So that being said, the change in moving from Hawaii to Oklahoma has been a good thing. It was a good change because the state of the economy in Hawaii is not that great. For those of you who probably know, it's expensive to live in Hawaii, and cost of living is through the roof. Rent is on the rise, along with purchasing homes and whatnot. So that's the one thing. And then of course the other half of it was dealing with my mom. And now the thing is that I love my mom. She'll always be my mom, and so I give her that respect. But she was hindering my recovery as far as my mental wellness is concerned. And the other part is that there was always this disbelief as to how sick I was. I know that my dad never thought I was sick. He thought it was just attention seeking. So that being said, um, we moved mainly in part because we wanted to be able to give our children some sort of legacy as to, when we do purchase a home, being able to leave them something uh, when we do pass away. And then also when my kids are, well, my older son obviously is old enough if he wanted to, to be able to move out, purchase their own home, and have a family and all that stuff if they want to. Being a mom, it's I always joke with my kids. I never want them to move out, um, which is probably horrible. But um, anyhow, so the things that have been difficult is the kind of change in culture. Um, Now, don't get me wrong. I've lived on the mainland before. I lived in the Midwest. I've lived in Minnesota. I've lived in Iowa. I've lived in Nebraska, South Dakota. So I know, um, what it's like to live on the mainland. And so obviously for me and my family, obviously, of course, my youngest, he has never traveled outside of the state of Hawaii until now. So I was really concerned, obviously, with him adjusting. And so that was the big thing that I was really concerned about. And, with him starting new school, whether he would be able to adjust and, make friends, especially because he's mixed race. And then the other thing is, being able to adjust as far as academic wise. I'm happy to say that he is adjusting just fine. He has a couple of friends, and he still does have a lot of contact with his friends back in Hawaii, which makes me happy because, you always want to have those friends who, like, you have from your childhood, and hopefully, if they're your real friends, you will stay friends with them forever. I have a friend like that I've known since we were 12 and I'm 45. And so we've known each other for a long time. We went through seventh all the way up to graduation. And while she went to college, I did not. And so, we've gone through all of that stuff, marriages and all the stuff that goes along with it. So I've dealt with a couple situations myself with dealing with racism and prejudice, which is fine. I'm a big girl. I can deal with that. My younger son, on the other hand, I don't think he realized what had happened in a particular situation, but he had this girl that he really liked, and they were friends. And this was over fall break in October. And actually, no, I take that back. It was the week before fall break in October. And they had art class together, and they were friends and all that stuff. They actually had a dance for the sixth graders and the seventh graders because he's in middle school, and here they have middle school and junior high. So middle school is sixth and seventh, and then junior high, I believe, is eighth and ninth, and then high school is 10th through 12th. Anyhow, so he actually went to the dance with her. He asked her to go to the dance. Wasn't like we picked her up or anything like that, but they did go to the dance together. As in, he asked her, would you like to come with me to the dance? So they did that, and, they were talking on the phone and texting and all of that stuff. And so, she is Caucasian, and so he had asked me if it was okay if she came over to play, and I said, yeah, that's fine. She's more than welcome to hang out, and as long as it's okay with her parents. And so I kind of set on some ground rules because this is a girl, and I wanted to make sure that her parents were okay with the whole situation. And so I talked to her mom, and she was fine with having her daughter come to our house. And so on the day that I went to go pick her up to have her come to the house and play, my youngest came with me, and her mom came out to greet me. And so, I introduced myself so that, she could see who I was, the person, um, that I was, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, but the thing that really bugged me was when she did come out of the house, and when her daughter came out, um, I did see a bit of a flicker on her face, which uh, unfortunately, I don't know how to put this, really bothered me. I got this kind of like really confused, like raised eyebrow look, like she was somehow surprised that I was Asian, which I don't know how she could have um, missed any of that, because like kids these days, when they talk on the phone, sometimes it's not necessarily just talking on the phone or text messaging. They do FaceTime if that's possible. And so and my son is, he loves to take lots of pictures. He makes his own like little films and all that stuff. So she knew what my son looked like, and I knew what her daughter looked like. And then the other thing is that he has a Japanese first name. Now I realize that obviously that's not mutually exclusive to Japanese people, but it really bugged me. So anyhow, came over, they had a really great time. The mom came and picked her up, and so they had a lot of fun. And then the week after that was fall break. And so right before fall break started, because he said that would it be okay if she came over to play at some time during fall break. I said that's fine, that's not a big deal. And so she just needs to make sure that's okay with her mom. And so right before fall break started, I picked him up from school, and he hopped in the car, and he said, well, I guess I'm not allowed to be friends with this girl. And I said, really? Why? I said, what happened? Like, did she get in trouble? Or, was there something wrong that was done? I wanted to understand why. And so he said that she was told that he was not allowed to be friends with her anymore, because he said the phrase, oh my God, too much. And that being the fact that they are Christian, obviously that's taking the Lord's name in vain. And so apparently, because we aren't Christian, they can't be friends anymore, which I don't believe one iota that had anything to do with. Because if you're Christian, I don't believe that that's what a Christian person would do, in my experience anyway. My sister-in-law is a Christian person, and I don't see her as that type of person that would say, no, we can't, be friends or whatever it is because you say this particular phrase. She may maybe bring it up to, like, say if it was me saying, it really bothers me that you say that, could you maybe not say that so much anymore? And obviously I would make a concerted effort not to, but to tell an 11-year-old child to not be friends with somebody because of that, it just didn't make any logical sense. I have a feeling that it was something else. And I asked him if he was okay with it. Was his feelings hurt? you know, to kind of get a feel of how, you know, he was dealing with it. And he said, yeah, his feelings were hurt, and he was really confused as to why he couldn't be friends with her, because he felt that he didn't say that particular phrase that often enough to warrant that sort of, I guess, action to say they're no longer allowed to be friends. They can't talk on the phone anymore. They can't hang out anymore. When they're in the class, they're not allowed to talk, etc., etc., etc. So, I mean, they have art class, the 6th period together, and so apparently there is no interaction that is allowed at all. So that was one thing that we had a hurdle with. And then the other thing is then my husband was starting to see these white like spots in one of his eyes, and so, a couple of years ago he was seeing spots in one of his eye, the same eye. Previously he had to have emergency surgery on that eye because he was dealing with a detached retina. So it was so close that if he had not had that surgery, he would have lost vision completely in that eye. So he had to have surgery, and it was fixed. So when he started having the spots again, obviously he was very concerned. So he went to see an eye doctor, and they did some sort of a laser procedure on his eye because they said that he had tears in his retina, and that could cause blindness. So I was dealing with that because he was very concerned, obviously, because he didn't want to lose the vision in his eye. So, you know, trying to convince him to go to the doctor sooner, it's always like, oh, I can wait, and that's how it's always been for the 20 plus years that we've been together. So I was dealing with that, and then so things have been kind of up and down, and then at the beginning of this month he had to fly back to Hawaii because for those of you who have been following me for a while know that he worked for a large supermarket. It's the largest supermarket chain in Hawaii, and he was loss prevention. So he was undercover. So basically what that means is he would be in plain clothes watching for shoplifters. And so a particular shoplifter that he apprehended assaulted him, and so a restraining order was taken out against this person, and this person was, you know, charged with burglary, which is a felony, and so they were you know, going to go to court. So my husband was a material witness, and you know how the court system works. Sometimes it takes a while for you to get a court date. So the court date had been continued a couple of times, and then in the meantime we had moved, and so it finally was set for the beginning of November. The city and county paid for him to fly out to Hawaii. He stayed with my mom, and then of course they, you know, paid for his expenses and all of that stuff. They reimbursed him and all of that. So anyhow, so for me that was a little difficult because I don't do well when he's not around. And my husband and I are extremely close. We've actually gotten a lot closer since we've moved because we don't know anybody here, and so we have been relying on each other a lot more. For me, it's been a little more difficult because my stupid agoraphobia and the fact that I have no real interaction with other people. And sorry. So anyhow, I was extremely concerned about being here, quote unquote, alone. Okay, so anyhow, I was worried, obviously, because of the court case and because of what the hearing was going to be like for him, because like apparently the defense had pulled his employment records for evidence against him about saying that he was a bad employee, blah 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 blah. So anyway, my husband went and did kind of a run through with the prosecuting attorney the day before they had to testify. And so my husband was kind of keeping me updated here and there, saying what he was doing and all that stuff. And it was hard because at that time there was a 5-hour time difference. Now there's a 4-hour time difference. But anyway, so he was gone 5 days, 4 days, something like that. Anyhow, so he went through the whole run through with the prosecuting attorney of what to expect when he takes the witness stand. And so on the day of the actual trial, apparently, because he was a witness, he was kept on one side of the building, obviously not in the courtroom. And then apparently this particular person, at the time that my husband apprehended him, and between the time that so my husband had to fill out a ton of paperwork when it came to actually giving all of the stuff to the police when he would call the police for situations like this. So while he was filling out paperwork, I guess this guy then tried to assault the arresting police officer. He said he's not sure exactly what happened during that time, but I guess the police department had added additional charges because he tried to assault an officer. And so, and then also this person was also convicted of murder, and he actually skipped his sentencing hearing. So I told my husband, I said, well, it's a good thing that this guy didn't do anything worse other than shove my husband a couple of times. And my husband is 6'1", and he's a pretty big guy. So I'm 5'1", to kind of give you perspective on like what I see as big. So he's 6'1", and to me, he's a strong guy. And so I know that he sometimes gets nervous with a lot of people that he had to deal with. And so anyhow, getting back to the date of the hearing, he was with the arresting police officer along with his own advocate, because he was a victim of assault. So this person would like send him letters to let him know, could kind of give him updates and stuff like that. And so when the hearing actually started, the prosecuting attorney and defense attorney gave their opening statements, and then this particular person, the criminal, I guess, stood up in the middle of the courtroom and started, I think he flipped the table in the courtroom and started screaming and yelling at the top of his lungs, saying that, where is he? He being my husband. I want him. I am going to unalive him. I am going to hurt him. And he was just like screaming and yelling and ranting and raving in the courtroom. And so they had to physically remove him from the courtroom. And I guess he was screaming and yelling the same thing over and over, saying that he wanted to get at my husband, and all the way down to, I guess, where they hold them, and essentially threatening to unalive him the whole entire time. And so the prosecuting attorney told that to my husband, and my husband obviously wanted to make sure that he was locked up. Yes, he is locked up, and the judge ended up calling it a mistrial. So now they have to do the whole thing all over again, which freaked me out when my husband was telling me this, and which made my anxiety through the roof. Because he was there, I was here, and so that didn't help. And so there wasn't really anything I could do. Not that I could have done anything anyway. So anyhow, so that's kind of what I've been going through, and then dealing with adjusting to everything else has been a challenge. The change in weather has not been nice to me. We had a cold snap, and it's where it was like 20 degrees in the mornings, frost and all of that stuff, which according to what I was told, was unseasonably cold weather for that time of year. It's fine, whatever. It was not fun. My pain was through the roof, and I have been dealing with all of that over the course of the last, like, I don't know, couple of months. So that in a nutshell is what has been happening, and why I have been procrastinating in doing that with my craft room, and why I kind of like poof off of YouTube, and plus all the nonsense and drama that have been going on with my GoFundMe and my teeth. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that, because I don't know exactly how much it's going to cost to have my teeth fixed, because I really need to have them fixed. When you have 5 teeth missing, it makes it really difficult and painful to eat. Not that I'm asking anybody to feel any sort of like pity for me or whatever. I don't expect anything. I don't know. But I don't expect people to be rude and all that stuff, because I don't need that kind of drama in my life. It's absolute nonsense. And coming from somebody like me who doesn't like blatantly come out and say, hey, I want you to give me XYZ because I need this. It was really hard for me to put myself out there to say, hey, I needed help, only to get a lot of flack back. And so it was really tough. And then essentially seeing people that I thought, or a community that I thought that was really great, kind of, and then I had a couple of people just kind of really turn me sour on a lot of things. And so I had hoped for a lot more, and I know that there were only a couple of bad apples that ruined it for the whole bunch and all of that stuff. So that also was like, is it really worth it for me to deal with all of this nonsense, and plus all the other junk that I'm dealing with here, and physically and mentally? Maybe I should just give up this whole YouTube thing, because is it really worth it? Because I'm not getting anywhere. Heck, I can't even make 1,100 subscribers. Why? What am I doing wrong? Obviously, there's something wrong with me. I don't know. Maybe I'm too boring. Maybe it's like, obviously I'm my worst enemy. And it all stems back to a lot of criticism previously about the way I talk, the way I look, what I talk about, how some people don't like my content. And I always say, this is my channel. You can watch it, you can choose not to watch it, do what you want. I really don't care. But sometimes, you do actually care. And I try not to care, but sometimes it's like, I put a lot of like work into this, and I have a really small channel in comparison to a lot of other content creators in this community. And so a lot of the things that I give away, which is the other thing that I've been criticized upon, is that I don't do enough giveaways. And that's probably why I'm not successful with my channel. I want you to know that I think the most I've ever made off of anything in my lives or anything like that, and again, no pity, I'm just telling you the facts. The most I have ever made off of any live or anything like that has been maybe, I think it was like maybe $175. And that was like completely surprising. I have not even, I don't earn hardly, it's like pennies. I think the most, like right now, and of course just through the fall of my own, because I don't post that, I hadn't been posting. And then of course my videos don't always show up on people's feeds and all that stuff, because maybe I'm just not popular enough to show up on people's feed. But like right now I'm sitting at like $1.31. So I don't, it's not like this is a career thing for me, but so when people tell me that I don't do enough giveaways, you have to understand that somebody who's on disability and on a fixed income, it's like, okay, so I'm spending hundreds of dollars on giveaways plus postage. Don't tell me that I don't do enough giveaways. Because I still have bills to pay. I have family to feed, and I like nice things. So yeah. Anyway, that's what's been going on, and yeah, pretty much it. So anyway, this video has been about 30 minutes. I'm gonna stop right now because I know that a lot of people don't watch to the end. I would really like it if you watch to the end, because it would really help me out. I don't know what I can get people to do to help me grow a little bit more, because I don't like begging other people to be like, hey, can you help promote my channel, because I really want to hit 1100, because I've been sitting at like 1079. I think the highest I got was like 1092, and I can't seem to get past that point to even get past 1100 subscribers. And I feel like an absolute and utter joke and failure. But anyhow, so yeah. That's what's been going on. I've been doing a lot of soul searching and like trying to beat down the nasty voices in my head, and trying to make it okay with myself to say that I'm doing the right thing by having this channel. And then the other thing is of course having to hear your husband say that somebody is threatening their life while you are about 5,000 miles away. And then adjusting with a new whole different like environment as a whole, and making sure the rest of your family is okay. So yeah. So I'm gonna end this video here. If you could please hit the subscribe button, notification button, like button, that would be fantastic. And then of course, leave a comment below. That would be great. And if you could share my channel with other people, that would be fantastic. I would really like to grow past 1100. I am looking to hit maybe 1500. I don't know how else to do that. Everybody keeps telling me it's a process. I'm waiting for that process to happen. But in the meantime, I'm going to probably tomorrow, because I don't have enough time today, but I will record another video, actually a couple of videos. One is going to be about my prep for Thanksgiving, and the other is going to be about some other funner subjects, because I do have some unboxing of yarn that I want to share with you guys, along with more progress for my craft stuff, because I decided today, nah, I'm not going to do it because I'm in too much pain. I've had this headache that I've been dealing with for almost 2 weeks now. So enough of my complaining. I will talk to you guys later. I love you guys. And yeah, I hope that my changing my mindset will help me move forward from here. So thanks everybody for the checking in on me. I really appreciate it. And I love you guys. Bye.